What's up, everyone? Ryan here, aka Ryman, and we have returned to our bizarre adventure in Katawa Shoujo. Now, before I get back into this, I was supposed to have this video done yesterday, and in fact, I did do it yesterday. Only after I had finished recording, I had found out that OBS decided to fuck up. So, it's a good news, bad news situation. The bad news is, yeah, there went that video. The good news is, after reviewing the audio, and then going back to review Season 1, I had realized I had covered some of this stuff before. And I had only stopped recording after I had made a new decision. And we'll get to that decision shortly. So, some of you are probably thinking, Ryan, you know you can just scroll back and, reread, right? Yes, you're absolutely right! And I tried that. And for some reason, the game wasn't going past a certain point. So, after cursing for about an hour and then going to bed defeated, I decided to come back and give it another go. Only I had to, start from the beginning and just hit skip until I got to the point where I had left off from the previous episode, which was at the end of these two fight, or technically these three fight. Actually, these two fight, because these two are the same person. So I'm going to skip now until I get to that decision. You really did not miss anything at all. I'm hitting exit game. Do not fuck with me. Thank you. Oh god. I do remember skipping over the... Hold on. I do remember skipping over the lunch on the roof thing. A lot of bad memories came back. My first time through this, I lost my voice doing Emmy's and Rin's voice. And then I had to do it again, if you remember, through Don's playthrough. My buddy Don, fellow fuck-up and Brainchild member, also did a Katawa Shoujo playthrough, and along with all of our friends, or at least most of our friends, guest starred on it. Yeah, and if you want to see that particular video, I'll give you a link in the comments section if you ask for one, but I thought I'd pause here and take special note of this special event. I've taken up too much of your time. Let's get back to skipping. And here we are. To the part where I hit for a walk in town. Saved. And then shenanigans with my computer decide to happen. I remember having a small panic attack when I got to this decision, because I didn't know which path I was going on, or I didn't know if this was going to lead me in the path that I was trying to go towards. In hindsight, I don't know why I had that panic attack. We're going to go for a walk into town. And so, essentially, what part is this? Part 3 of Season 2? This would have technically been Episode 4, so we're going to disregard we're going to disregard that other Episode 3, because now this is Episode 3, and I've now confused everyone! Let's just go right back into it. Following Hanako... People have been sitting at their computer for 5 minutes like, what the fuck is he talking about? Following Hanako to the library seems a bit intrusive. There was a reason she left the classroom after all. And that aside, I do want to catch up with Lily. At the very least, I'd like to thank her for looking out for me despite her other, obviously taxing duties. I guess I'll walk around town. With any luck, I should be able to find Lily. The exercise will do me some good as well. Walking through the school courtyard to the gate, I give a small nod to a couple of passing classmates, the gesture being, returned in kind. Even from here, the shouts of the sports club members can be heard. From the sheer volume of the din, the track must be packed with people right now. I remember what Lily said yesterday about being dropped right into the middle of busy time for the school. While I'm trying to get my bearings and catch up on study that I've missed, everyone else is doing normal school activities. The feeling of being a foreigner still hasn't dissipated. At least, not yet. Well, I guess not everything's bad. This is a private school, and that much is easily noticed when walking around outside. Not only are the school grounds huge, but the buildings themselves are immaculated and quite divorced from the dime a dozen concrete blocks of public schools. There's also the fact that there's a much stronger feeling of community here, or at least a friendlier atmosphere. At my old school, it was generally accepted that people would keep to their little clique and be done with it. Hisao, my man, I don't know how to break this to you, but that's at every school. Eventually, I reach the gate and begin to walk down the road and into town. Well, that was fairly productive. Having seen a fair portion of town, even including the houses perched on the hills around the outskirts, I decided to take a walk around the park before heading back. Living in the city all my life, the total lack of smartly dressed businessmen and fashionably dressed girls strikes me as incredibly unusual. All that's been seen are odd elderly... I can't read. All that's... I think I'm having a stroke. Hold on. All that's to be seen are the odd elderly person shuffling along the sidewalk and the assorted busily chatting pairs of middle-aged women outside of small storefronts. Thank you, brain! Walking along the road to the park quickly distracts me from them, though making me realize that I perhaps pushed myself further than I should have done as to see as much as I could. As my breath begins to wheeze and my chest tightens more and more, I give up on the prospect of soldiering on. After a quick glance around the park as I entered, I take a seat on a wobbly old bench that I'd noticed near a couple of the vending machines. I think I recognize this park. Oh, am I in the park on the same bench that I had my happy ending with Hanako? Oh, that sounds terrible. Oh no. Oh god, this is not that type of game, I promise. I mean, maybe? Move on. This isn't that type of game, I promise. I meant it was a good ending. For minutes on end, I sit with my head bent over, forcing myself to take deep breaths. I feel more like an old man than a teenager who should be in the prime of his life. The stay in the hospital, the surgery, and the medications must be taking their toll on me. Damn it! Eventually, my breathing returns to normal and the muscles in my chest loosen, not without a fair measure of relief. I guess this means the end of my little sojourn in any case. There's a kata off on the far corner, so I'll stop by to quench my thirst before heading back. A little bell above the door signals my arrival to an empty room. For a few moments, I stand there waiting, my eyes every now and again drifting from one end of the counter to the other, searching for a service bell. You're about to get some top quality voice acting here. Eventually, a door some ways behind the counter opens, the person emerging from it taking me by complete surprise. Yuko? Hi! I had no idea you worked here. I really had no idea how to dress her either, given that she's technically school staff as well as apparently a waitress. Oh boy, I apologize for those who are new here, but, yes, She quickly paces up to the counter before flinging her upper half downwards in an overacted bow. I like to imagine in her rush, she just slammed her head into a desk doing that. Welcome to the Shanghai. May I take your order? Fight the joke. Fight it. Fight it. Fight it. Failed. Welcome to the Shanghai, home of the Shanghai. May I take your order? Oh my God, Ryan. Out of the 12 people who are going to watch this video, probably one other person is going to get that joke. So straight down to business, I see. I don't know. Well, some coffee, please? Yes, certainly. I'll make it right away and bring it to you when it's done. Oh, my. Thanks. Yuko's formality takes me aback. She seems to take her job very seriously. Obeying her instructions, I turn around and quickly glance around for a free table. Considering the kata seems to be empty, this is a simple task to accomplish. As I walk towards the table adjacent to the window, I notice a flashy yellow around one of the table dividers. Oh no, how did I do your voice? If I knew you were going to be showing up early, I would have probably reviewed one of my other previous videos from Season 1 to remember how I did your voice. Oh man, this is gonna be bad. Certain people are going to be very upset and angry with the way I'm probably about to butcher her voice. I'm a goddamn man voice acting 16 freaking females in this story. I can't. I am not a voice actor. Damn it, if you're new here, the people who are already subscribed can tell you they are not here for the voice acting. They're just here to witness me make a fool out of myself, and damn it, you're gonna get it. Sure enough, no more than a glance is needed to ascertain that it's a certain Sato at the table. That said, I don't recognize the suited figure across the table from her. Blonde, fair-skinned, and only a little shorter. She? I think she must be a relative. Since the two are all but silent, as the pseudo figure takes a swig from her cup of coffee, I decide to greet Lily. Some part of my coming here was in order to meet her, after all. Hi, Lily! Okay. Hers was a simpler voice I could do. Hisao? Yeah, nice to see you again. The pseudo girl looks up, noting my uniform with a relaxed smile. Alright, I think I remember. This. Fuck! Know each other. That was terrible. Damn it! I'm a man voice acting 16 women. This is the best I can do. Know each other. I guess? It's a good approximation of our relationship, as I can think of. Care to take a seat? She says this to the air beside me, but the message is clear enough and I take a seat beside her. I suppose some introductions might be in order. Hisao, this is Akira Sato, my older sister. Akira, this is Hisao Nakai, or
Ryan, aka Ryman, depending on your mood. Another Yamaku student.
Looks like my guess was correct. The newly introduced Akira gives a nod, which I return. What I don't return, however, is an almost analytical gaze with which she looks me over. What? You checking me out or something? There is no window shopping, lady. You either buy or you get the fuck out. What? Well, no. Yeah, ladies and gents, use that line in the future with someone. See how well that goes. Get back to me on that. As she does so, Yuko walks up to the table and carefully places the cafe on the table before bowing and taking her leave. Gently bringing my hand to the side of the cup, I realize that it's already at just the right temperature to drink. After taking a sip, the flavor turns out to be just as good as the temperature. Yuko seems a lot better at this than being a librarian. I take a good, long drink before relaxing into the seat. It takes mere seconds for Akira's examination to come to an end. Apparently becoming quickly bored with the activity, she turns to her sister. Now to do a conversation. You people asked for it, even though you didn't.
So, how's school recently?
It seems Akira is entirely unconcerned with someone she doesn't know at all, listening to everything they say. Not that I mind, leaving them to their chatter. I sit back and continue drinking the pleasantly aromatic coffee. Oh god, okay, there is more. Fuck.
Sounds like it's pretty busy for you then. At least I'm not cooking your meals after school anymore.
As they talk, I slowly realize that I'm entirely unable to gauge Lily's emotions through her eyes, as I would for any other person. I wonder why. It becomes slightly unsettling as I subconsciously focus on that fact.
Whoa, so cold. Weren't you just cooking for yourself anyway? I only ever got leftovers. That's not the point. Are you managing to feed yourself at least? I can cook without blowing myself up, you know. Mostly. That's... It's fine. I needed to learn sometime anyway.
Ah, Lily? Everyone present is momentarily distracted by Yuko, who places a cup of coffee on the table for Lily. Taking a moment to glance at her watch, Akira levels herself off the seat and gives me a quick nod.
Well, I better be off. It was nice talking to you, Lily. Akira, do you have to?
Lily looks generally mournful at her sister suddenly leaving. It does seem like she might have the wrong idea.
I'm sorry, I need to get back to work. They'll be on my neck again if I don't make it back so quickly.
So informal. Akira's trim and tidy appearance would give anyone the wrong impression of her.
Bye, Akira. Come on, don't look so down. I'll be around again soon. See us!
With that, she waltzes out of the Shanghai with her hand held high. I think she just gave me the finger. I mean, that's the way my siblings do it when we leave a room from each other. That'd be fucked up. Akira's been like giving the middle finger to Lily every time she leaves the room. Lily still looks pretty depressed, so I might try to make some small talk in an effort to take her mind off it. She seems nice!
We used to live together, but now that I live at school, we hardly see each other.
Despite Lily having been quiet a fable, I still don't really know much about her. In hindsight, it's surprising just how much she's extracted from me, really. You used to live together? Was it somewhere around here?
It was pretty far south, so the trip to Yamako was fairly long. With her working hours getting longer and Yamako being so far away, there was little choice in the end but to move into the dormitories.
Well, that explains the chatter about cooking. Evidently, regaining her composure, she livens back up, at least in part.
I take it you're better rested now?
Sorry?
You sound less exhausted than you did when you first came in.
To be able to pick out my breathing like that, she must have pretty good ears. Yeah, part of me, instantly forgot that, the heightened senses and all. I really shouldn't have had that slip from my mind. I've been watching a lot of Daredevil on Netflix recently. Yeah, ended up walking all over town, despite only planning on taking a short walk down here. Reminded of my thirst from the walk, I leaned forward to take a sip. Without further ado, Lily starts on her cup of strong-smelling tea. I guess I better get back to Yamako. There's only so long I can stall studying for, and I want to get a good night's sleep before the festival. Standing from my seat, I take the coffee-stained cup from the table.
You're leaving?
Yeah. You going back as well? It's getting kinda late. For a moment she pauses, before lifting her face over her teacup as if she was looking at me.
Yuko, could we have one more coffee, please?
Okay, I'll bring it right away! That's not subtle. She gives a short giggle, and my frank assessment of her maneuver. It's surprisingly childish and carefree, given her otherwise collected appearance. In the end, though, I have a little reason to refuse. To be honest, I can hardly say no, all things considered. Giving a manufactured sigh, I take a seat opposite of her. Wanting company, then?
I'd say that's more than I was wondering.
I see she's in questioning mode again. She does seem to be unusually interested in me, or at least curious.
Do you have any siblings?
Older brother, older sister. I'm the baby of the family. Move on. Not exactly an unexpected tangent. No, only child. To be honest, the idea of having someone that close makes me a bit envious. So, take this from the youngest of three. Not that envious.
Interesting.
I raise an eyebrow, which of course goes unseen. The short silence communicates the question well enough.
It's just that others have said the same thing before. It's a difficult subject to try and think about objectively, given that I've always had someone like that.
I can mostly understand what Lily means, given that it would be hard to place oneself outside of a situation they've been in all their life. She and her sister must have had a pretty close relationship. Taking pains to interrupt us as little as possible, Yuko dutifully comes over and places a cup on the table. Lily thanks her, and as I sit back, taking in this vexing girl in front of me. Despite always seeming to be on her guard and in control of herself when talking to others, she has an almost childlike curiosity about other people. That said, those rare moments she seems to slightly lower her guard and the most insightful into how she thinks. Reaching forward for my drink, I realize something I probably should have noticed earlier. I think I'm starting to become kind of curious about her. Well, let's be fair here, Hisao. Blind girl's probably our best chance in life. And now it got depressing. Despite making a good pace, it's already nightfall by the time I reach the large iron gates in front of the school. While it's nice to have plenty of time to wander around by virtue of living right next to the school, I can't help but feel the feeling that very few students actually take the opportunity. Compared to the number of students I see milling around on campus during free time, it's startlingly rare to see anyone around town. Given the large number of accommodations and facilities that the school offers, Maybe they might simply not see any point in venturing outside, let alone people such as Hanako and Kenji. Makes me wonder if students like Shizune, Misha, and Lily are the exception to this school rather than the norm. As I wander back to my dorm room, I continue to compare my old school with Yamako. As I do so, I begin to be surprised I managed to get even this used to everything that's happened to me. Oh, scene transition. I was like, why is it dimming like this? Then I remembered I'm not in Doki Doki. I'm not in for a jump scare. I say that as I wake up on the day of a supposed festival. Oh! Oh, the flashbacks. Wait. I recognize this. I think we're allowed to skip. Okay. Now this apparently is new. Continue. Right. I know what I'll do. Even though it's just one person, I'll make the festival more enjoyable for her. Should probably actually take a few moments to go back to get some kind of context as to what's leading up to this. Hold on! As I place the bowl on the counter, I call out to Lily.
Ah, Hisao, you brought it back?
Yeah. Here. I slide it into her hands, and she takes it over to someone who is apparently on cleaning duty. Considering that I didn't see them here before, it's probably a penalty for their tardiness. Hey, Lily! She perks up and returns to the counter as she hears my voice again, realizing that I'm still here. Want to go see some more of the festival? She puffs her cheeks disapprovingly. I don't know why that this whole thing seems adorable right now, but it is. It looks kind of cute in a complete contradiction to her usual reserved nature. It takes a few seconds for me to get what she's taking issue with. Whoops. Oh, I didn't mean to. Lily giggles at me, exposing her teasing for what it is. You're still not used to the school, are you? She got me. Still, I kinda need to stay with our stall. It's taken until just now to get even everything unpacked. I guess her reluctance shouldn't overly surprise me, considering how much work she's put into this. Everything seems to be running fine now, though. Besides, you got extra help on hand anyway. A boy in the middle of cooking some soba noodles turns towards us, grinning. And now I will... Hold on. Here we go. I will now take one of my hatchets and I will throw it at the wall of voices to see what voice it lands on. Black Mage! Okay! Getting the mental image of my Black Mage character cooking noodles for random people, but... Go on, Lils! You've earned yourself a break. We can hold down the fort for now.
If you say it's okay, then I suppose so. But if you need any help...
Then we'll call you. Fuck off! Lily finally gives up her resistance as she waves a spatula at her. As he waves a spatula at her. She feels her way around the back of the stall and picks up her cane on the way. I guess the first thing we should do is look for Hanako. Lily seems kind of worried about her, and I doubt she'd be the kind of person enjoying milling about in crowds like this all alone. Even though it's the perfect cover for her! She's an assassin! She hides in plain sight! So I guess we should search for Hanako? Where to first? Maybe the library. The both of us go quiet for a moment to think. Maybe she's in her dorm room?
I doubt it. She doesn't keep too many things in there, so she had nothing to do. Ah, the library?
As good a place as any to search for an avid reader, I suppose. The library it is! We'll check there first, then. Aside from the muffled sounds of the crowd seeping in from outside, the inside of the school seems almost deserted. In order to make sure everyone had enough room, I guess all the events were organized to be held outside, on school grounds. They're definitely quite large by any other school standards.
It's nice and quiet in here, isn't it?
I guess. Yeah, much nicer than the hustle and bustle outside. We take our time and slowly walk through the first floor of the school, eventually reaching the stairs to the second floor. I can't help but notice how Lily anticipates every door and obstacle, her cane remaining still, and her hand skating along the hallway railings. You really know the school well, don't you? She smiles and nods straight ahead.
I've been here for a few years now, so I know where everything is. The dorms still trip me up, though, sometimes. I haven't been there as long, and they're not as well laid out as the main building. If I'm remembering right, they used to be unused buildings before being renovated and used as dormitories.
That explains why the male and female dorms look different from the outside, and why their dorm rooms seem kind of unusual for sleeping quarters. I'd assumed she'd been living in the dormitory since she began attending the school, but now I'm reminded of what she said yesterday. That's right, you mentioned that before. I'd assumed that most of the students here lived in the dormitories once they enrolled. A lot of them seemed to, in any case. Lily's expression becomes somewhat harder to read, my questioning evidently touching on a delicate point.
Well, how should I say? Everyone has their reasons.
Something tells me that one of those rules with reasons is Hanako, hence her tiptoeing around the answer. My own predicament is yet another such case. I guess it's a choice everyone here would have to make for themselves, or in my instance, have made for them. It can't be helped, I suppose. At least Yamako itself seems like a nice place.
It's good to hear you say that. I thought you were coming to dislike it.
What about you, though? My reversal of Lily's statement takes her by surprise.
I've been here for a while, so...
It's not that. You seem pretty depressed about Akira. What's with that look?
Akira's taken. Sorry, Hisao.
Lily never sees how fast my mom used my face at her sly accusation. Hey, I was worried about you. There's no reason to respond to concern. While she gives an amused grin, we round the corner of the hallway and enter the library. Hi, Hanako! I think I should probably end it here for now, gang. I have things to do and people to meet with. But this adventure will continue. Season 2 will live on! And if you had any enjoyment whatsoever watching and listening to me fail a beloved visual novel, then please give the video a like. Subscribe to the channel if you want to be part of this adventure, as well as a whole bunch of other adventures that I go through. Follow the Facebook page if you want to keep up with all the news and the content. And if you want to be part of a friendly community full of deranged yet still harmless individuals, then join the Ryman Gaming Discord channel. There you can chat and leave messages for me, a bunch of other people that are part of the Fuck Ups Brainchild community, other fans of this franchise? What should I call it? The other fans of the Ryman Army, that's what we'll go with, yeah. And who knows, there's probably some other interesting people that'll show up. Until the next time, guys, stay awesome out there. Adios. What are you doing with your mouse, Ryan? Fuck. Stay awesome out there. Adios.